So the PFL 9 card was actually really good. So I thought, in honor of it being so enjoyable, that I'd actually break down the card. So starting off, John Caldone got a nice easy knockout over Nathaniel Grimard. Not really much to say about this fight. It was a nice straight right to ground and pound. I'll move on to Abdullah Al-Qahtani. Man, what a mauling by this guy. He put an absolute beating on his opponent. Uh, like, beat him up on the feet, like so badly, beat him up on the ground. David Zellner's toughness, man, is like, you can't question that guy's toughness. He took a mauling. Like, he just got beat up badly. You should have seen his face by the end of this fight. Like, poor guy, man. Like, he took a fucking massive beating there. One of the judges gave it 30-25, and both the other judges gave him a 30-26. So you know that's when there's a fight. When a fight is one-sided. Felt really bad for him. I was like, damn, this poor guy, this poor motherfucker, man. Like, stop the fight, you know. Dan Hardy should have been yelling out, stop the fight. Then moving on, there was Michelle Matanga versus Abby Montez. Michelle doing really good in the fight, and then she got the back of Abby Montez and got the submission. Really good performance there by her. Then there was Mustafa Rashid Nada versus Corey Cuppy. Like I say, Corey Cuppy, horrible chin, too confident for somebody with such a bad chin. Just so weird. The way he got dropped didn't look real. Like, he looked fixed the way he fell down. But if anyone knows Corey Cuppy, he's got a bad chin, so I don't think it was fixed. I think this guy's got a glass jaw. So yeah, he just got randomly dropped, and the way he fell and then got ground and pounded out. Wasn't defending himself against Rashad Nanada. But yeah, good performance for the Saudi Arabians. Like, I like what international talent fighting in these big promotions. It just helps MMA grow. Like, I'm sure these two having the success they're having in the PFL will probably help grow the Saudi Arabian MMA scene, which I just love to see MMA grow in other parts of the world. Because the more MMA grows in other parts of the world, that means there's more events, more fighters, you know, which means there's more MMA for me to cover and more MMA for me to watch, talk about. And then that means there being more MMA, it's more likely there'll be some freak show fights in these countries too, because they're like, you know, new markets. So I love it. I love everything about international fighters, new markets being built in MMA. But anyway, moving on. Alex Pergandi put on a mauling against Sean Stefanali, just mauled this guy. Stefali came back in the third round and got a sweep. It looked like he was making a little bit of a comeback, but then Alexi just got back up and just beat on him again. So yeah, he got a nice clear victory there. It was a good performance from him. Alexi. Then moving on, we had Bigio Bagago, Ali Walsh versus Ed Davis. Everyone knows, you know, Muhammad Ali's grandson, Ali Walsh. Really good performance by him. I really like this guy's style. His boxing style in MMA is really nice. Obviously, it's not against the highest level of competition, and he is only an amateur. But, man, I love his style. It's such a fun style to watch. His boxing is so nice. He throws nice head kicks as well. Mixes it up nicely. That stoppage is very questionable, though. Ed Davis literally fucking was defending himself and wrestling. It was I'd say it was a bad stoppage, but an understandable one. It's an amateur fight. It wasn't a professional fight, so I can understand why they wouldn't want him to take too much damage. He did take some really big shots before he got dropped too, which is probably also a part of why they stopped it so early. But yeah, still early stoppage, especially if this was a pro fight, you'd be fucking pissed off. But in a way, I can understand why it was stopped in a amateur fight like this. My just main question is, when is Ali Walsh going to go pro? Because I want to see this guy in a pro fight. I want to see this guy with 5-minute rounds, because this guy does a lot of fucking work. In the 2 rounds that he had, this is his first time going to the second round, I believe. So, yeah, but I like his style. I want to see him as a pro, but I'm a fan of Ali Walsh. He seems like a good guy. good style. He said that he thought the stoppage was early, but Ed Davis just said toughness, man, because he was taking a beating in that fight as well. And then moving on, we have Magomedov versus Solomon Renfro. Uh, Magomed was just beating up Solomon Renfro, but Renfro was in there. He was in that fight. Even in the third round, he was making a bit of a comeback. It seemed like Magomed was slowing down a bit there, but it wasn't enough for Solomon Renfro to get the win. But yeah, good performance by Magomed. This guy's pretty good. It'll be interesting to see how he does in the final, if he gets the $1 million or not. Which, speaking of which, we have the next fight, Sadal. So I'm never going to pronounce this guy's name properly, but the Senegalese guy from Sweden who fights out of Sweden, big all-star guys. He fought Carlos Leal and he won a split decision. He actually had Carlos Leal actually had a point taken originally because he missed weight, which I didn't even know about, which definitely would have changed my pick if I knew that in advance. But still, Sadal So, he won the fight. But yeah, it was a competitive fight, and you'd have to imagine if there wasn't a point reduction because of him missing weight, Carlos Leal probably would have won. But yeah, it is what it is. Or maybe they took I don't know if they actually physically took a point from like the fight, like the judges' scorecard, or if it was they took one of the PFL like smart points, whatever they're called. I didn't actually pay attention to that, so maybe that's what happened there. Because yeah, you would have thought there would have been a 10-8 if that was the case, but I don't know. But yeah, Sadal Su clearly won that fight. So I didn't know that Carlos Leal missed weight, so he would have been a bit trained, I reckon. But no excuses here. Sadal's looked fucking amazing on this season. Got that highlight reel KO against Shane Mitchell as well. But yeah. Then moving on, we have Oliver Mercier versus Bruno Miranda. He got a nice performance there. Got a finish. He's actually become so violent since moving to the PFL. He never used to get finishes in the UFC. But now he's getting knockouts. He's getting all these TKOs and everything. You could say that's because of the level of competition, but maybe he's also leveled up a little bit too. But I don't know. Good performance though by Oliver Mercier. And then moving on, I already spoke about Clay Collard versus Shane Burgos. Fun fight, good fight. Really good performance from Clay Collard. Showed real toughness there to come back from all them leg kicks because he was getting fucking chewed. His leg was getting chewed up. But yeah, I already made a video speaking about this fight, so I'm not going to go like repeating myself here. But yeah, great fight there. Clay Collard versus Oliver Mercier should be a pretty good fight, especially if the violent version of... did I say Shane Burgos? I meant Clay Collard versus Oliver Mercier. But yeah, Mercier versus Collard should be really fun, especially if the violent version of Umber Mercier shows up. Then we'll be in for a nice little war. But yeah, I think Oliver Mercier will probably win with his grappling, but I'm rooting for Clay Collard to get his million. He deserves it, man. Guy's been through it all. He's been robbed fucking 2 years back to back, so yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time.